Everybody enjoyed their day so far? Yeah. We couldn't have asked for better weather, could we? It's cycling. So thank you all for coming today. Thank you to the Travelling Trials as well for the lovely music that's kept us going through lunch. So my name is Claire and I'm cycling with you all today because I love a challenge basically. So a bit of my story. 21 years ago, this week actually, I was told that I would never see again. I was caught up in an accident in Omagh. I was involved in the Omagh Bob in 1998 and I lost my sight instantly. I was 15 at the time and went from just a carefree 15-year-old where everything was just wonderful and my biggest concerns were what I was going to wear out to the local teenage disco or who was interested in who or whatnot, to suddenly being thrown into this world of total life changing basically. I didn't get out of my hospital bed for about 2 weeks I think. And even that walk down the straight corridor when I did eventually do it with one person on either side of me was the scariest experience of my life. But I remember at the time then I had a couple of surgeries initially and then was home for about 10 days. Well, before I had to go back in to have my last surgery, which was to try and restore a bit of sight in my left eye. At this stage I've been told I'd lost my right eye and as you can imagine again at 15, like I was devastated. Thinking who would be interested in somebody with an artificial eye and all that usual nonsense, it doesn't even matter. But the 11th of September was actually my last operation in 1998 where I was told that I would never see again. And I remember my mum and I were in the room on our own after and Mummy said to me, she said, how do you feel about this, Claire? And I said, I don't know. And she said, well, we have two ways to look at this. She says, we can sit around and feel sorry for ourselves, and straight away I said no. And she said, well then we don't really have a choice, we have to get on and make the most of it. Which is what I have tried to do every day since. And it hasn't always been easy. I had to learn to do everything again, had to learn to make even a cup of tea, finding my way around the house and everything. But as I say, I was a stubborn teenager and I was determined that I wasn't going to let what had happened to me hold me back. So I learned to do, as I say, everything again. Had to then start looking at other options. I had learned to study in a completely different way. They wanted to, they suggested I would go to a specialist school for the blind in Jordanstown, which is about 2 hours from Omagh, and I could board there and learn all my skills, but I didn't want to do that. So I went back to mainstream school and took my GCSEs that year. They did suggest I took a year out, but that would have meant I would have been in my sister's year group the year below me, so it was not an option. So I went on and finished my GCSEs and my A-levels and went to university. And I suppose until at that point as well, I sort of was living a bit of ignorant bliss. I was still able to do everything that I had wanted to do. I travelled and did all that stuff, and then it came to the time of finding a job, and that was when I realised it wasn't going to be as easy as I first thought. But fast forward on, quite a few years later, I did find work then after that. I actually was working in eye clinics in Belfast, offering emotional support and advice and information to people that had lost their sight or were losing their sight. And it was a job that I felt very, very privileged to do, and actually one that I probably never would have found or considered had I not lost my sight myself. But we lived in Belfast, and then 8 years ago we moved home. And again, I had another crazy idea that I wanted to open my own music school in Omagh. And I didn't know whether it was the right thing to do or not. I mean, it's very easy just to keep in our own wee comfort zone and doing our own thing. And it was Ryan, my husband, actually, I remember at the time, was saying, should I do this, should I not? Because you have all these thoughts in your head telling you, you know, who's going to want to come, or people actually going to come for lessons, and blah, blah, blah. And, you know, it's easier just to stay in my job where I'm getting my salary and everything. But I bit the bullet. And thankfully can say that 7 years on, we're still going strong. And I'm so glad take the courage to do it. I am doing something that I absolutely love. I teach piano to about 40 students. We've about 200 students coming to the Music Academy every week for lessons, and the buzz in the place is just class. To hear the excitement, the chatter of all the young people, and all the other lessons going on at one time. But you know, one of the reasons why I wanted to do it as well was to bring people together. And it's lovely as well within the music school, people come in and they're coming from all different schools. They've got to form friendships with people that they maybe never would have met before. They're performing duets, they're performing in wee groups, and it really is a lovely atmosphere and a lovely place to be. But I mean, I suppose from my point of view, the way I look at life and have continued to look at life since I lost my sight is that we get one chance here. And we have to make the most of it. And it's not always easy. And we never know what is going to be thrown in our path. But as I say, we just have to make the most of it. And as I say, I give myself these wee challenges. So I think it was about 4 years ago I came home and said, Ryan, there's a charity event on. There's a 5k walk, which isn't really much of a challenge, 10k run, which I hate running, and there's a 60-mile cycle, so we're going to do the cycle. Are we? And I said, yeah. So we bought a tandem, and we'd never been on one before in our life, and started cycling. And we would love to get out more of the bike than we do, but we just don't get the chance. Life's too busy. We have 3 children as well. So all at that stage where they're running to every activity going and stuff. So our house can be a bit crazy at times, but it's fun and it's all good. As I say, it's all positive, crazy stuff. We're busy, but it's all good. And you know, again, you know, when I had children, people were like, how do you manage? None of us know how to manage when we have a baby. I just have to do things differently than maybe the rest of you do. But I mean, it's life changing for everybody. So it's something that again I wanted and wasn't going to let my cycle stop me. I got involved in the Cycle Against Suicide Day cycle, because I've followed Cycle Against Suicide for a long time, and I just think the work that they do is fantastic, and it is so important for us all to talk and listen to each other, and we never know what's going on in anybody else's lives, and I think we have to be very aware of that in our daily lives. Just, you know, people we meet who have no idea what they're dealing with. But if we can just be the one person to give a smile or a friendly hello to another, that could be all they need that day. So yeah, my main message is that we have this one chance and we just have to make the most of it while we're here and take, sort of, I suppose, go for any opportunity we get and see if it works and learn from it if it doesn't, and just make the most of it. So thank you all for listening to me and for coming along today and joining us in this cycle, and I've been delighted to be part of helping organise and taking part. Thank you.